Hi, good morning. Welcome to my Wednesday devotional. I hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. I know I did. My family treated me so well. I got to hear from my son, who's not living with us anymore because he's out and about. Can't say where. He's off doing great and wonderful things for the Air Force. So it was great to hear from him. And of course, my son that I still have living here, and he gave me a beautiful card, and my husband, who's given me some gifts and a card, and took me out to dinner with our other son, and we just had a really great weekend. So this is one of my new dresses. I got several new dresses, so it's been kind of a crazy day already. I've been out in the rain, and now it's sunny, and the wind, just seems like everything was going on. So I don't know about you guys, but it just feels like everything's kind of, a little bit crazy right now. We ended PWAC last week for the year. They will have some summer sessions, but then they'll start back up September 18th. So, another PWAC year. But yeah, so we still have chapel though. We still have our Sunday services, so that's good. And we have a lot of transitions going on. So there's just a lot of transitions, and the weather in the DC area just lately has just been all over the place. So, who knows? But anyway, so I'm in one of my new dresses, and I just love it. Very springy. Reminds me of cherry blossoms and flowers, stuff like that. All right, let's get this done because I got a lot of things to do, and I know you do too. So here we go. All right, Esther 8. Like I said, I've got a lot of projects going, so I've had to erase some of my stuff. So if you recall, right now we're on verse 9 and 10, but our previous verses were talking about the signet ring and how orders could not be revoked that Haman, the evil guy, did. But now, moving forward, so how's the king going to help? You remember? Because we've been wondering, it just seems like he's drunk, giving away half the kingdom, and, But now, you're kind of springing into action. And so, here we go. Verse 9. So on June 25th, the king's secretaries were summoned, and a decree was written exactly as Mordecai had dictated. It was sent to the Jews and the highest officers and governors and all the nobles of all the 127 provinces that stretching from India to Ethiopia. The decree was written in the name of King Xerxes and sealed with the king's signet ring. Mordecai sent the dispatches by swift messengers who rode fast horses, especially bred for the king's service. All right, so a couple things happening here. First of all, the king doesn't have one secretary, he's got secretaries, plural. So, doesn't say how many, but I imagine like a team of 10 or something, I don't know. Because back then, they didn't have, computers, typewriters, anything like that. I mean, they had to hand write, scroll. They didn't have photocopiers, The closest earlier photocopier was a Civil War, at the end of the Civil War, actually down in Appomattox, where we went in Virginia, where they ended the Civil War. They were using like earliest version of a photocopier, with hand cranking it. That was interesting to hear about that, and they're hand cranking out all the pardons, to get everybody back on the same side. So, imagine this is, prior to Jesus' time, how long did it take to, what if you make a mistake on a scroll, you don't have any of that liquid paper stuff, can only imagine what those poor secretaries were doing. Probably had, like I said, maybe 10, 20 secretaries all writing, I don't know, and written exactly, So again, what if someone make a mistake? What if you made a mistake and then, but it had to be exact? So do they just, crumple it up, throw it away and start again? I don't know. Interesting thought. Interesting thought. All right. So then it was sent to the Jews, and remember, 127 provinces stretching from India to Ethiopia. Woo! That's some big territory, okay? And the decree was written in the name of King Xerxes, sealed with his signet ring, and Mordecai sent the dispatchers by swift messengers. I love all this, descriptive language that this book of the Bible is talking about. They weren't just some, I got nothing else to do, we'll just ride there and we'll get there whenever. Swift messengers who rode fast, and they were specially bred for the king's service. Like, these weren't just some, icky old horse. This was like fancy. They're breeding, these horses were trained and fed the best, and horses eat a lot. I learned that in Colorado when we were there, and for some reason I just wanted to go see horses out there. And man, they even ate, like, I had some granola bar tucked in my jeans pocket, and there's a tiny little pony, and he tried getting in my pocket. It was a granola bar in a wrapper. He's gonna eat the wrapper. I mean, when they say eat like a horse, that means like they eat in the couple hours we were out there, those horses were eating like constantly, nonstop, like just, I don't know. Like they never stop, so even in Texas, we went to Texas, went to go see the horses one day, and they were eating some grass, so I was helping them, and they just nonstop eating. So when they say they're specially bred, we know what that means, but obviously they had to have some really great food. They had to have the finest horses, wow. It's just, this whole story just blows me away of the king's wealth. It's just hard for my middle class mind to see, like, wow, okay. So, all right, so now the king is in action. We're starting to hear more of those effects of Mordecai and Esther. And so at least we're not hearing about him being drunk. It sounds like the king is kind of sobering up and, getting more aware, and now he's doing something. So that's great, If anything, there's been a lot of, I think, redemption for the king, He kind of started off one way, but now it sounds like he's getting it together. So good for him. All right. Well, I hope you guys had a great weekend and survived the wild, wacky weather. The sun is shining, but the sky is dark and cloudy and like it was windy, rainy. Like, we're just having some wacky weather. So hope you guys stay safe wherever you are and have power and all the things that we appreciate. And you just think about these interesting stories and how even some people like the king who kind of started out one way can end up another when it's in God's hands. God always calls us to do things, and he's always there for us and ready to help for anything, and this is totally God's hand, and so I hope you guys are starting to make those links, those associations, and you think like that in your daily life. How does God show up for you in your life? I know he shows up for me and my family, and I feel very blessed, so I hope you are just as blessed. All right, well, thank you very much. And thanks for watching, and I hope you stay safe from any weather out there, and that you have a great day. Thanks for watching. All right, bye-bye.